First, so we all know Joe Biden's the nominee, and we're going to be talking about good old sleepy, creepy Uncle Joe Biden 30330 whatever. But right now, again, he's having a quandary. And what's his quandary? Well, who is he going to pick as a running mate? Anyone but Senator Elizabeth Warren. Former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic presumptuous presidential nominee, is facing pressure from big money donors. Oh, really? You don't say. Not to select Senator Elizabeth Warren as his running mate in this general election, even as polling from YouGov and Economist shows Democratic voters support the Massachusetts senator over other options. Okay. I think a lot of donor base on board and coming would prefer almost anyone but Elizabeth. One longtime Biden fundraiser told CNBC Thursday, I don't see him choosing her for Veep. Okay, so, hey, remember when she did that nice video saying that he's a good person, has a good soul? Oh boy. Talk about the fall from grace. So the YouGov poll, which was conducted between April 26th and 28th, found that voters were most enthusiastic about a Biden-Warren ticket. I'm not. And after how we responded to the Tara Reid allegations, yeah, definitely not. But okay, Warren or Klobuchar or Kamala Harris, if you want to go for that VP spot, that's on you. But I wouldn't. So again, Warren was backed by 26% of Democratic respondents, while Biden's other former rival for the Democratic nomination, Senator Kamala Harris from California, came in second with support from 18% of the party voters. And again, it's just quite clear that a lot of big corporate donors are against Senator Elizabeth Warren being VP. In fact, if we rewind back the clocks, let us not forget that in 2016, the establishment wrote, especially Wall Street executives, wrote a letter to Hillary Clinton saying, don't pick Warren as VP. And, I'll never forget when she did this video. She said, no one's going to tell me what to do or who I can't pick as the vice president. And everyone was kind of under the assumption like, oh, okay. Clinton's showing some backbone to Wall Street, which is a surprise. But, oh, wait, she chose that guy, Tim Kaine, because she had some earlier political dealings with him. So it was all smoke and mirrors. And once again, Warren's left holding the bag. And, at the end of the day, I mean, if Warren if this was her end game goal or if this was her plan, fine. But you know what? The more I look back on her past and how she's handled this entire primary and how snake emojis basically made her feel sad, she's the last person anyone want as a VP because she's toxic. I mean, she threw Bernie Sanders under the bus, and what did it do for her? It destroyed her credibility. But guys, take it away. What are your thoughts on how Wall Street's saying anybody but Senator Elizabeth Warren?
So there's a couple things. So Warren has held so many bags, I might just start calling her Miss Concierge at this point. I don't get what they're so afraid of. If she says anything that you don't like, you just put enough people in a room and surround her and go, you can't do that. And she'll go, okay, I won't. That's what's going to happen. Then everyone moves on. Again, Warren, really? Other people, I think, that had a better chance of winning, like Sanders, got a worse deal. A lot of it at this point, their own choosing. Warren, I think, has done the most. She's given up the most of her respect and priorities that she sort of said she had to get the least. She dropped out, basically. She knows she wasn't in contention. She stayed in the race after Super Tuesday. She didn't go and endorse Biden, which could have at least given her a position in the administration. She could have gone and went with Bernie, which would have at least rehabilitated her image a little bit. Instead, she went for the least of both worlds and just was like, I'm not going to do anything. Maybe something will happen eventually. Now Biden's not going to pick her for anything. Sanders supporters are, she's kind of a despised, snakish enemy at this point to many people. And I would not be surprised if she does not get reelected, because on top of all the things that have been happening, she's also been losing consistently before this even happened, support in her own district. So it could be the end of her political career for all we know. And Elizabeth Warren, if you go, I'm not sure anyone would really notice you were here to begin with.
I already forgot about her. I don't know.
There you go.
John, any thoughts on Warren?
Yeah, I mean, I think in Slack, my response was just ha 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 ha, but just boisterous laughter. It's funny because all those Warren Democrats, the Harry Potter fan fiction lovers and all that, so upset over the imposition that they might be House of Slytherin. were insisting that this was a pragmatic choice. Like she was the right one to bring the Democratic Party left. But as soon as the biggest opposition, like the most left candidate, backed out, they were like, the Democratic Party's like, oh yeah, and her? No, she's gone too. Like, no, not absolutely not. Like, no compromise necessary. Bernie's gone, no need to compromise, and that's it. Like there was nothing pragmatic about it. And anybody with any kind of memory of 2016 could see that a mile away. That it was never going to happen once Bernie was gone. That was the Wall Street compromise. Bernie's not here, no need to compromise. We get everything we want. Biden will prostitute himself in feet of donors. Like, who's surprised? I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm laughing.
Who's
To me,
surprised?
I find it funny though. Go ahead, Daniel.
Who's surprised? All the fan fiction readers. I think they didn't see this coming. I remember we talked to them. I know Kit and me know a specific person in
I mean, I'm
have
always
in mind.
for clever twists. I'm always.
Imagine. I just wonder how they're doing, Kit. Don't you?
So here's what I gotta say for a final word about Warren. You know, her actions throughout this entire campaign, I did hold just a small chance of hope for her.
Small
You know,
Slytherin.
Yeah, small Slytherin for Elizabeth Warren. But you know what? Obviously, Warren just doesn't have what it takes. I mean, this entire political nightmare that we're dealing with right now for the general election should just go to show anyone that even if you play ball with the establishment will still screw you over. And Warren's going to have to live with that. And, you know, maybe she had high hopes that somehow she's going to be made the nominee. But Wall Street executives, even the fact that she even does so little, they still don't want her because they don't like her. They don't respect her. And they're just going to say, no, Biden, don't pick that. And remember, Biden's campaign was only relevant throughout this entire primary, not because he has a strong voter base. In what freaking world are you living in? It's because of his super PACs. And his super PACs know people in big banks, corporations, Wall Street executives, lobby groups, and all that other good stuff. So Warren doesn't have a seat at the table. But at the end of the day, just seeing how, you know, screwed up Biden is. I mean, who really wants to be his VP? Probably the desperate. But Warren, you're done. But